Hello, David Akubian, Bearwoods Photography. So this is not a product review. It's not a great location video, anything. It's something that's informative, and I think it'll just help photographers that are in a situation similar to me or want to look at different ways of carrying something. I am a huge fan of the new f-stop gear bags. This is the cashmere, and I love it. It's perfect. I mean, it's a great size. It holds everything that I want to carry on the majority of the trips I'm on. But I've also noticed that this year for me has been a little tougher traveling. I've got some arthritis in my back and my hip, and I don't want to really carry through the airport, a heavy bag. So to give you an idea, this is the Pro Large insert. And inside of it, I've got three camera bodies, 4 lenses, my batteries, my cards. I've got my little video stuff as well. And it's heavy. I mean, it gets a little bit heavier than I want to carry through the airport. Plus, it's a little bit bulky at times walking through an airport because you're having to take it off to go through the scanners and everything else. So I just one day, and I don't know why I've never thought of this before, I've got a roller bag by Shimoda that I can put this into, but it really doesn't fit perfectly. It's a little bit of a tight fit, and it's not a spinner, it's a directional. So I just said to myself one day, I wonder if someone makes a spinner that would fit in, or I wonder if my existing spinner bags would fit in there. So I've got some of the Samsonite luggage. This is just your average carry-on size bag. And I said to myself, I just wonder if I could fit it in there. So I took it, set it inside and closed it up. And lo and behold, it actually fits. So it's kind of nice because now I can wheel through the airport. It doesn't look like a camera bag. Nobody knows there's camera gear in there. Not that the backpacks necessarily scream it, but if people know what f-stop gear or Shimoda or Think Tank or Mindshift gear, any of those are, they know it's a camera bag or low pro. So this sort of keeps a little bit of a disguise. One nice thing about this as well, there's some room at the top. I'm going to slide it up so you can see. There's some room at the top that is about 2 inches. I can fit my hard drives. I can fit the mouse for my laptop and stuff, and the charging brick and everything in there. And then there's also enough space on top that I can still fit my MacBook Air 13-inch on top of here, and it still closes up, and it makes it extremely easy to travel. So I think that I have found a new way that for myself, it's going to be a little bit easier to travel now, and you can see it zips up, closes, and boom, I've got a spinner that is a camera bag at this point. So I really like that. And I've never had issues with this bag anywhere. I got a little nervous this past time traveling with my backpack inside, actually the insert inside of one of the rolling bags from Shimoda, because when I got to the airport, it barely fit into the little gauge or whatever those things are at the airport that they tell you to see if it fit. And they were checking pretty much everybody. So probably I would say 50 to 60% of the people, because the plane was full, had to actually check their bag in. Now, this would probably fit, but it would be close. My other bag, which is about the same size, barely fit. And it really made me nervous because if they wanted to push it, they probably could. Or if the wind chimes are working. If they wanted to push it, or I was going to get into a smaller commuter plane once I got there, there would be that concern that it wouldn't. So I don't carry as much gear, especially in the wintertime, to Iceland. I'm typically carrying the 16 to 30, 28 to 75, and then maybe the 50 to 400. Or if I'm carrying my crop sensor, I've got my 18 to 300. So all of that would fit into what's known as the slope medium bag, or even a regular medium bag. So I started thinking, well, if I know it would fit in here, but what about some of the smaller carry-on bags that they've got? So you're gonna love the color of this. This is an American Tourister, and I honestly believe, I think we got it at a thrift store for a couple bucks. And look at that. The slope medium fits perfectly inside, and there's enough room in the front of it that you can put the laptop. Again, I use a 13-inch MacBook Air, and there's some space up above it that I could put, you know, the battery, the hard drives, and everything else. And you can see the size difference in these. This is going to fit on absolutely everything that I get onto. All the planes, bush planes up in Alaska, whatever, it's all going to be fine. But again, what I simply do with the backpack is, I'm not going to carry this around in the field, obviously, this roller bag. So what I do is I make the bag flat, the backpack flat, put it into my check bag. When I arrive at my destination, then I take out the insert and I can put it in there. If I just want to carry a smaller one with a different insert, I can put both of those inside my check bag, and then when I get there, I don't have to carry around the bigger lens, the 150-5 or the 50-400. I can leave that aside. But with this, it's kind of nice again, because I've used this, I used this past winter over in Iceland, and you can see that it's big enough that I can still fit the 150-500 in there. I can fit another body or two, and I can fit 3 other lenses and all the batteries and everything else in there very, very easily. And again, it's really nice that I could carry the smaller bag, the Guru, you know, which is a little smaller bag. It's like a 25-liter bag, or even the little tiny small one. But again, all of this fits inside of this, and I'm not having to worry about getting to the airport and playing a game with the desk agents or the flight attendants as to whether it's going to fit in the overhead or not. And neither of these bags scream camera equipment. So I really like that aspect as well, because I'm not having to, you know, worry about, is someone going to try to grab it? Are they going to, you know, what's going to happen? My mind is relieved off of that. And I look like just a normal average person flying through. Nothing screams camera gear. But again, both of these are spinners, so it makes it a little bit easier. I'm not having to drag it in a direction. Like if you go to turn, it gets odd or you know, wonky or something like that. And with these, you know, both of them have this, that if I carried the camera bag separately, or I mean the computer bag separately, I can still fit it over this. This is the same. It's got the you know, the retractable handle on it. It just makes it nice that I'm able to carry stuff, and not all of it's on my back. And I really think that that's going to help me long term with some of the aches and pains that I have when I'm traveling or when I'm out there doing things. And my Wren has decided to sit over here and put its 2 cents in as well. So again, I apologize for all the noise, but that's part of living in a wildlife sanctuary. You get a lot of nature around you. So hopefully this was actually some decent information for you. It's not a gear review, so to speak, but it's hopefully just a travel tip for you. And like I said, I think that airlines are trying to fill their planes up more and more, and the majority of the airplanes that I'm on now are at capacity. They're trying to get people off the planes, or you start seeing a lot of people having to check their bags. So I think that this just is something that can help you get around that. So anyway, again, David Akubian, Bear Woods Photography. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it did a little bit, you know, of some good information for you. If it did, you know, go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below. You can subscribe to my channel. I don't put a lot of videos out. I'd like to start doing more. You know, I'd like to do more this next year, because I've got some things in store for you for next year. I'm going to be driving a lot more to the locations that I go to with my camper and my truck, and I want to make a whole series of that as well. So anyhow, have a great day. It's a little bit cooler today. It's not quite fall, but we're down in the 50s and 60s up here in the North Georgia mountains. So anyhow, have a great day. Talk to you later.